Hello there, and welcome back to Double D's RCs. If you're new, if this is the first video you're watching, my name is Don, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on the Bronco. So yeah, it's a Traxxas 4x4. It has a VXL motor in it, stock gearing, stock tires, high center of gravity chassis. So I mean, this thing's pretty much bone stock. One thing I did change on it was I put long travel shocks on the front. So essentially it's got like the rear shocks are a little bit longer than the front stock, and I have long ones, or essentially rears on the front and the rear on this one. Don't know why I did it, but I just wanted to see what it looked like and cruised like. So yeah, we're gonna tear it apart. The reason we're tearing it apart is the spur gear does not want to work anymore. This is, I think, maybe the first failure on this particular Traxxas. It's been a good runner. I don't beat the living snot out of it, but I run it decently hard, and so far it's performed well. You know, my other trucks I beat a lot harder. This one I kind of baby because I like the body. But either way, we're gonna tear into it. This is the noise that I'm hearing, so I think it's a spur. It sounds like either I chipped a tooth and it just ground them all up, or something happened. So those noises, you know, normally that was like full throttle. So if normally when I hit this thing full throttle, it'll stand on its back wheels. You know, it won't pull like a really high wheelie, but it'll definitely lift up the front ends and, you know, really bite and take the hell off. But right now you're hitting it full throttle and you hear more of that whine. I don't think it's a slipper clutch or anything. I really just believe that the gears and the spur are stripped out. So first step is we're gonna have to take off that cover on the motor and see what the hell's going on in there. So let's take a peek. Alright, as you can see, yeah, my shocks apparently are leaking a little bit too. Maybe it's just, I don't know, whatever. That's for a different day. I don't feel like rebuilding those today, but they're pretty hairy. So but the rest of the truck is clean. Like I said, I don't really go on hard on this thing. I love driving it. I don't know, I like the way it looks going around the track. So first thing is we're gonna take off this top cover here and see what is going on below it, which is where your gears are. For this particular cover and this repair, you're gonna need a 2mm, probably a 2.5 if I had to guess, and hopefully that's it. So you take the one center screw off here, and then you can just get in there and kind of lift off this cover, and you can kind of see what's going on here. I don't know, something is happening for sure. So I'm just gonna take off this whole rear piece here, like the whole rear end, I guess rear assembly, and get a closer look at that gear and see. I mean, in this position it seems to have teeth still, so oh boy, fun stuff. Let's see if we can figure it out. So we're still at the rear of the vehicle, obviously. What we're going to do first is I'm going to take off this screw and this screw. Next, I'm going to flip the vehicle over, and there should be 2 more screws. Okay, now we're on the bottom of the vehicle. I'm going to take off this screw and this screw. These particular ones are 2.5mm. 4 screws have been removed. The cover's been taken off. In theory, I think this whole back end may just come off now. Oh boy. Yep. Well, she should come off. I'm hanging up on something here. So the spur gear you know, I don't know. I've seen a hell of a lot worse, I can tell you that. So I don't think it's the spur. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I have a few other ones, so I may change it out anyway, but, you know, you can see a few other things here. So, main thing about taking stuff apart is you can see other things, such as this bearing and this little, man, I don't even know what it's called, but it's like a spacer thing is just fried. So I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of this apart. This is your slipper clutch assembly. I'm going to take it all apart and see what is going on here. I think I have another spacer, so I'll probably put another one in. To remove this, you have to take off this end piece here. This goes into your drive shaft. Your center drive shaft, I should say, the part that connects the front and rear four-wheel drives. You know, makes it four-wheel drive, not the side drive shafts. Next, we're going to unscrew this guy here, which is your slipper clutch spring hold down nut thing. I'm going to take off our spring. Take off this bearing. And then take a look at this clutch we have here. Pads look okay. The plate looks okay. I'm going to go ahead and change out this bearing here. Sometimes the bearings are hard to tell if they're good or bad if you don't get a lot of play on them. See, these teeth look okay. I'm wondering if it wasn't just this bushing and bearing here. Well, this bearing still feels pretty good, actually. I'm not getting any play in it. So, let's see. We're gonna take a look at this whole situation here. See, this was supposed to be like a metal, or I mean a plastic piece that goes all the way around. It obviously got hot and over time just kind of disintegrated. So that's not helping anything, that's for sure. So I found this kit that I purchased a while ago, and it came with an aluminum version of that thing there and some bearings. So I think what I'm going to do is just do the aluminum version of it. So at this point I'm just going to start putting the shit back together. Alright, so we have the rear end back in, the rear assembly back in. I'm going to start putting some screws back in. We got 1, 2 up top, 1, 2 down below. So as you can see, I don't think it was the spur gear. I think it was this whole thing going on here. I think this is called a bearing carrier. We're going to go with that. It's made out of plastic, and you know, if you own a Slash at all, or Traxxas in general, these Valenians, they produce a lot of heat. There's no way around it, you know. They're still a good product. I love them. I have no problem with them, you know. But it's ain't nobody hiding it. They produce a lot of heat. Some people don't like it, so they upgrade, you know, to something different. But I've had a lot of luck with the Valenian, but it does get hot, you know, hands down. It gets freaking hot as hell. So some fans help, whatever. Sorry, don't want to get off on a tangent, but what happens is you get a lot of heat back here, and it's melted the hell out of this carrier. So I've got the new one installed now, you know. I'm gonna put the battery in there and see if it performs any different. I would almost bet money that it was that spur gear, but the spur gear doesn't look bad at all. So we're gonna find out here. See if we get any more power out of this thing now. No more slipping and weird shit going on. But this thing was definitely fried. So it's always good to take things apart when you start hearing weird noises, just to see. We did uncover that this thing was pretty fried. Now we have a metal one in there. Hopefully it'll last. Metal's not always the answer, but it's all I had laying around, so I got it put in, and let's throw a battery in there and see what happens. Alright folks, well there you have it. One slipper clutch bearing carrier upgrade done. So like I said, it's always good to investigate noises and see what's going on. This thing seems to be performing back to normal, as good as it ever did. And thank you for watching, and keep coming back, and tell all your friends. Enjoy the hobby, guys. Bye.